Welcome to the Green Hour on 900 AM WURD, Word on the Weekend.
I'm your host, Laura Lomax, and each week we are here from 11 to 12 following Reverend Louise Bishop. You can also find us online at 900am WURD.com and in the community. My co-hosts are Michael Ledbetter and Dr. Paul Hopkins, and each week we will bring clarity to the complex discussion on health and environment. We encourage clean living from the inside out. A centerpiece of this is maintaining a healthy lifestyle and getting informed about the connection between good health and what is happening in the world around you.
This includes what you consume, what you wear, what products you use on your body, how you clean your home, what you drive, what you purchase, the decisions you make every day. And now your host, Laura Lomax.
First, welcome, family. Welcome, Dr. Paul.
Good
Welcome,
morning.
Michael.
Good morning, family.
Good morning, family.
How's everybody?
Excellent. We are in for a treat, word family. We have today with us the icon, Dick Gregory. Mr. Gregory, if I could quickly give an overview, because I don't want to waste a moment of this hour that we have with him. He was born Richard Claxton Gregory on Columbus Day in 1932 in St. Louis, where he quickly learned that humor was a tool to navigate difficult situations. He went on to be the first African American to perform stand-up comedy in an all-white venue at the direct request of Mr. Hugh Hefner. However, Mr. Gregory abandoned the fame and fortune of the nightclub performances because of the adverse effects of alcohol and cigarettes on the people. He opted for a pursuit of truth and justice. He did, however, meet his beloved wife Lillian, with whom he fathered 11 children, 10 of whom went on to become extraordinary and productive citizens. He ran for mayor of Chicago in '68, I believe, and was the first African American to run for president in a general election. Mr. Gregory shares his wisdom not as the meditations from someone in jail or on some long fast protesting injustice in the world, but he is a devout researcher, and his wisdom and understanding comes from unemotional study and analysis. He's loved wherever he goes. He is the most sought-after lecturer in the U.S. colleges and has been so for more than 2 decades. He is a man from whom we can all learn. He knows no boundaries between men and women, racial divides, religious differences, or any other type of bigotry. You must read about Dick Gregory because he is a man of humor, which is the greatest stress reliever of all pursuits. And also because he will give you a very clear insight into what you can do to improve our world, and you will be better for it. Welcome, Mr. Dick Gregory. Mr. Gregory?
Yes, I'm here. Peace and love, and thank you for that introduction. I was sitting around looking for who you were talking about.
Excellent.
And, first, let me say thank you for this type of show. We have the answer to all major problems is not complexity, it's simplicity. Mm-hmm. Money is not power. Education is not power, but information is power. If I give you bad information, you have bad power. Mm. So it's a trust thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. My grandmother cannot understand chemtrails. Why should she? Why would you take a 6-year-old child and introduce it to trigonometry before it's had simple math? This is our fault. We get out here and we know. Look, if you buy a Rolls Royce, you don't take it back to a ghetto. Okay? What you trying to prove? So we get out here and we get shows like this and we move up a ladder and we don't understand all these other foods. There's a universal law that once you put the magic glasses on, you can never take them off. But it's a violation to make everybody see what you see, including your mother, your children, your daddy, and you can never, ever, ever chastise somebody that's not wearing the magic glasses. I'm looking at this mess over there in London where the little Kate goes into the hospital.
Right.
Now, this is the best hospitals in the world. And she's there from morning sickness. And I'm shocked. They don't even know what morning sickness is. The first 9 months, you in your mother's belly, all you get to eat is her urine. Okay? For 9 months is the urine. The day before you born, that stops. And then you caught floating down the fallopian tubes. Oh, that's the party. You using muscles. That's why you never celebrate your birthday on your birthday.
Yeah, right.
If you're born October the 12th, the birthday is October the 11th. That's the party. Because that's when you got disconnected. And so, for instance, Christmas is the birthday of Jesus Christ. Ain't it called Christmas Eve party? New Year's is the birthday of the New Year's. Ain't it called New Year's Eve party? In many cities and states, if we go out this Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve and we get to drinking, we can call a cab to take us home for free. If they violate that, they can be jailed. But they don't have to take you home for free on New Year's Day, on Christmas Day. And so when you sit and think about the misinformation,
Right.
so I'm born and raised, and I'm 80 years old. All I thought nutrition was when whatever you was eating that you liked didn't run out before you got enough. And if it did, it was a bad nutrition.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So how some pipsqueak on the corner going to sit and tell my mother about bacon's bad, coffee's bad, this is bad? They know, see, what they call bad is a sin. It's a sin to smoke. It's a sin to dip snuff. They got a mouth full of snuff while they dip it. It's a sin to drink. It's a sin to do that. The other stuff, they're doctors. Remember, the poor people in the world, they strive to be doctors. Doctors ain't nothing. Nobody respect doctors but poor folks. I mean, are you serious? But we don't even sue them. That's the respect we have. They don't lose no money on us. Oh, I thought, well, he did the best he could, or she did the best she could. And so when you put a glamour on things, glamour on athletes, glamour on entertainment, which is the biggest, listen, there'll be more people call your show in the next 2 times you on that's done more for the humanities than 99% of all the athletes and entertainers put together.
Wow.
Yeah.
But when you're poor in spirit and you don't understand or you substitute the church for God, I mean, I'm sitting listening to the election. They say, well, Obama's in trouble. That same-sex man. Wait a minute. Wait. Let's go back to George Washington. He wore tight silk pants, high heel shoes, makeup, curly wigs. So when did they start talking about same-sex marriage? And my poor mother, I mean, if she was alive today, she would be feeling the same way about same-sex marriage, the rest of them. Now, here's the problem. My mother did not know that King James was King of England. She didn't know where King James came from. She did not know that King James was such a weird, strange homosexual. He hated women so bad he killed his mother. His lover was Lord Buckingham, who Buckingham Palace is named after. Okay? So when you put that there, and then you put a religious thing about, you better not mess. Look, if my mother walked in your studio today, if she's alive, you think God just spit her out. She was so pure and conscious and just. But if you tried to convince my mother that Jesus Christ wasn't a Christian, she would stomp y'all to death.
What?
Because she didn't know Christianity never happened till 100 years after Jesus was dead. She didn't know his brother James was killed the same way he was. So how do you take 200,000 years of lies? For instance, if I bought, this coming Friday, I bought $10,000 from you all. Say I pay you back in 3 days. I want you to count on your fingers and tell me what day I pay you money back. Right now, count on your fingers.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
No, I bought it on Friday.
Oh, you bought it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Wait, did you go to the special school?
Somebody's taking Laura's place today.
All right. Now, you hit it. Now, go back again. You was right. I bought on Friday. I pay you back in 3 days.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Okay, if Jesus Christ was killed on Friday and he rose in 3 days, why we keep letting him come back on Sunday?
Oh, my goodness.
This is what I'm saying. That's why we got to be careful and understand. First, you got to understand the type of fertilizer that's used in my brain that God didn't put there, That God didn't. Some of the stuff I say, my mother would be outraged. She might call the police.
So, Mr. Gregory, based on what you just said, where do we get our news today? There's so much out there. You know, we talk about chemtrails, we talk about GMOs, we talk about all this information that is either conspiratorial or just plain frightening. Where do we go?
Well, first you have to break down something. My oldest son, brilliant, called me one day. Said, "Dad, you got to come to Dallas and help me. I'm hooked to crack." I said, "I can't help you." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I ain't never smoked a reefer in my life, and please don't call your mother. She never drank a beer." And he says to me, "Dad, you go all over the world helping people." I say, "Son, if the doctor told you you had a brain tumor, you wouldn't call me and tell me to come to Dallas and cut your head over. Okay? You get your news from you. And if you limit it, and look, if me and my wife have finished college, at 5 years old, our children have a vocabulary of 5,000 words. If me and my wife have just finished high school, me and my children have a vocabulary of 2,500. If me and my wife haven't finished grade school, they got a vocabulary of 500 words. Huh? See, here's what you have to understand. When the universal God put this planet together, it never came back. So if it wasn't here day one, it's some manipulated crap, okay? If it wasn't here day one, the universe has nothing to do with it. In other words, if you live in a house and your circuit breaker get overloaded, what happens? Shuts things down, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what insanity is. It meant when you get overloaded, pop, shut it down.
Right.
Now you got medicine and all this stuff that the universe didn't put here and all this stuff. So now your circuit breaker burn down, which is called crazy, and they give you all kind of pills and all kind of medicine and all kind of psychiatrists, which means now we got crazy people that normally would have been shut down when the circuit breaker. See, the circuit breaker don't break and you run and add 2 more lamps to it.
Right.
So now we got people running the countries all over the world. That's crazy.
Yes.
Because, and so what I'm saying is, where do you get your... Well, first, am I one of the few people that know certain things in General Motors and NBC and CBS? That's a game they play. You know, if I said to my mother, I said, "Mom, you know, all birth certificates is owned by the Vatican and traded every day on the New York Stock Exchange," my mother would say, "I'm crazy, you lost your mind, what you've been drinking." But if she punched it up, y'all can punch it up while the show's going on, the truth about birth controls. And as long as that white racist, see, what we don't understand is white supremacy and racism is 2 different things. My mother thinks I think white supremacy is the Ku Klux, and the Ku Klux Klan don't even know what white supremacy is, okay? White supremacy is a handful of rich, elite white men that controls the whole planet out of London. Do you know how few people don't know that London is not part of Britain, and in order for Queen Elizabeth to go into the city of London, she have to get permission from the Lord Mayors, and if they give it to her, she got to come through the back gate, dressed as a servant. So I'm saying all of this occult stuff have happened for so long and so long and so long. How do you scrape it back and unwind it? And so, like, for instance, if after the show is over, if you all punch up JFK's executive order 1111-1110, June the 4th, 1963. What was that? What was that about? It was a executive order to wipe out the Federal Reserve. Huh? Now, once you put executive order, it takes 6 months before it kicks in. He get that shot through his head in Dallas, and they said, "Oh, wait a minute, it was civil rights." Now go 100 years before that to 1863. Abraham Lincoln signed the executive order to do away with the central bank.
He got shot. Right.
And they blamed it on the Civil War. So how do you unroll all these lies that's been there, and then the people that have that guy come and say, "Man, oh, man, I have to apologize. 20 years ago, I heard you say something, and I thought you was crazy. And I just found out what you said was true." Well, that don't mean I can't still be crazy.
So this
I mean, why is it when you your light come on, then I'm not crazy no more.
Right, right, that's
sane.
right. Like the discussion about GMOs. I mean, we talk about that all the time. But how do you sort of unring that bell now that we know it? I mean, what can the average person that don't have those magic glasses?
The average person can't do a damn thing. When America decided and the Russians decided they wanted to go to Mars and outer space, did they go to the average person? Huh? They went to the scientists. Huh? They went to the scientists. They brought them in from all over. The average person don't know a damn thing of how to get along. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you that. Do you remember the first debate, Obama?
Sure.
Did you know that's when he found out that General Petraeus and them was fixing to overthrow the government?
Hey.
Huh?
What?
Okay. Now, as hip as y'all are, right? Huh? Did you hear me?
Not that hip.
Look, you got enough sense with no education to know that white folk don't get upset over some white girl having sex. Are you serious?
Right.
So what's that all about? He's not only a general who will kill God. CIA will kill God's mama. And all at once, look, every spy movie I ever seen, I saw more women in the movie than men, than spies. So all at once, that's a game. But here's the problem. It was real hip what they was planning on. They was going to kill Romney the week before the election. Okay? Hear me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let me put my seatbelt on, Dick Gregory. Hold on one second.
No, but you know what? Again, I just want to emphasize, this is not emotional talk. This is not, this is research.
This is research.
Right.
This is research. So please continue.
Well, you know, here's how I run my life. My truth don't have to be validated by somebody else's ignorance. Period.
There you go.
You know. So now let's watch this now. So they uncovered it. The Russian intelligence hit them to it, and Putin killed all of them, which means America and Russia was in on it. Okay? So now, let me skip and then come back. You know the black general that was head of the African table? Mm-hmm. You saw when they busted him? Mm-hmm. He was part of it. Okay? The Navy admiral, they went into the Indian Ocean and took him off the ship. Okay? Now, here's the problem. If those of you in that studio are trillionaires and you have large investments in America, if you found out what was about to happen, you would pull it. That's why they can't let nobody know. The other time that happened that we know about was when Roosevelt, but it wasn't the military. It was the business interest, and he's running this country into the ground. Okay? So they said, what we're going to do? Said, well, he's in Miami in a month at a outdoor festival. Let's kill him. But they shot, but it didn't hit him. It hit McCormick, who was the mayor of Chicago. Oh, they went and busted all of them, but they couldn't talk about it because what it would do to our prestige around the world.
Right.
And so consequently, that's what you're looking at. Now you look at this woman, his biographer. Come on, give me a break, huh?
Right.
Biographer. And then you look at them two twin sisters down in Florida.
Right.
Now, wait a minute. They daddy, okay, trains the KGB super agents. So what are they doing having the biggest parties on military bases, huh?
Right.
What's that about? And you saw when they had these lavish parties, but they in bankruptcy. Huh?
Right.
So where's the money coming from? So this was a long time plot, and it got caught, and they can't talk about it because what it would do, everybody in the world know what happened, and what I think what they was planning on doing. You see, the Aztec calendar ends this year. Well, it's really next year. Okay, it's 13, but they, and so it ends, and so they're men, so they didn't know what it meant. It's the calendar ends, so the world's coming to an end. Well, what world are you talking about? There's a whole lot of worlds out here.
Right. Mr. Gregory, we're going to have to take a brief commercial break, and we'll be right back. Thank you so much. HealthQuest Live is brought to you by Solia, plant-based and locally made products addressing healthy cleaning solutions. Visit Solia online at www.soleaclean.com or
Get 20% off on all Solia products, including the new Moringa capsules and Moringa oil. Go to www.soliaclean.com and enter 900 as you check out to receive the 20% off on all products.
Or call 1-800-608-0810. 800-608-0810. Solia Clean Living from the Inside Out.
Welcome back to the Green Hour on 900 AM WURD, Word on the Weekend. And now your host, Laura Lomax.
Welcome back. We are here today with Mr. Dick Gregory. Mr. Gregory, Dr. Paul has a specific question for you.
Hey, Dr. I'll say him Dr. Gregory.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't call me that. That was real for malpractice.
Yeah. Brother, I want to say, you got me spinning as usual all over the place. You bring up so many things and topics that are, definitely for the family we need to know, and, I remember so much about when I first heard about you, it was that thing called the Bohemian Diet.
Yes.
Remember that Bohemian Diet?
Yes.
And that's part of the enlightenment that we do on this show is to bring people to enlightenment, that you put people on the path. Mm-hmm. And you put me on the path because that was the first time that I ever had something that actually realized that I didn't have to keep eating.
Yes.
And, it was a meal replacement.
Yes.
And I actually lost over 80-something pounds in 1 year.
Right.
And that was phenomenal for me. So I think that, all the topics that you're bringing are right on point. And I know there's so many people that our listeners want to get their minds back, from what you're telling us, because we know you the truth. So what are some of the things? I remember your story was that you were 350 pounds, smoked 4 packs of cigarettes a day, drank liquor, did everything.
Oh, don't put him out
and
there.
It felt good.
It felt good. Exactly. So, heart to heart is, just heart to heart. Because when I met you I bet we were at Zion when I met you, and I asked you to come on the show. I knew that it was a deep calling to actually meet, and I didn't expect you to respond. So I thank you. But what can the family do to sort of bring us back in? Because we know this fight for GMOs and this genetically modified foods and things is poison. We know it's poison. But what can the family start to do, with these understanding?
Let me put it this way.
Hey folks, this is Bill Anderson, and for quite some time I've been telling you about the Solia cleaning product line. They've been telling you how to clean your home and still protect the environment, and now they're bringing to us nature's miracle plant, the Moringa plant. Moringa has 90 vitamins, 46 types of antioxidants, and all of the essential amino acids. It's the most nutrient-rich plant ever to grace our planet, and now it's available to you. Edible powder and capsules, antioxidant and moisturizing Moringa oil for your skin and hair, and even antibacterial, antifungal Moringa for cleaning every part of your home, including your laundry. So take care of your home with the Solia cleaning products and take care of your health with the Moringa Miracle Plant. To place your order, go to soliaclean.com or call 800-608-0810. And when you do, make sure you mention WURD to receive a special 20% discount off all products. The Moringa Miracle Plant and the Solia cleaning line, clean living from the inside out.
Are you taking pills for male enhancement? How much are you paying per pill? $18? More? If you're paying $18 per pill, you're getting taken to the cleaners. What if I said we had one for less than $2 per pill, guaranteed to deliver real results? Skeptical? Before you pay even a penny per pill, to prove it works, we'll send you a full-size supply of Bravado absolutely risk-free. Call this toll-free number now, 1-800-942-2836. Bravado is one of the safest male enhancement pills available because each capsule contains natural ingredients that will safely increase your libido fast. It'll boost your confidence in the bedroom and even give your partner a more satisfying experience. To get a full-size supply of Bravado absolutely risk-free, call now, 1-800-942-2836. Stop paying for expensive male enhancement pills. Pick up the phone and get a full-size supply of Bravado risk-free. Call 1-800-942-2836. That's a 30-day risk-free trial at 1-800-942-2836.
Mm-hmm. I sit at meetings around the world, right? There's certain things I see I can't even talk about, right? Mm-hmm. there. I'm sitting at a meeting where a genetic engineer, they took a firefly. When I was a little boy, we call them lightning bugs, and crossbreeded it with a carrot. And at nighttime, the carrot lights up. Okay?
Wow.
Now, there's a book out there called, I'll think about it in a minute. I got one in my bag that you can go and get, or you can punch it up. Then I said, then the next thing they're going to do is have a baby born that lights up. And my grandmother, if she was alive, with her type of super ignorance, they could tell her that's the second coming of Christ. And then they can start dictating everything. You know, Hitler was a vegetarian. Hitler never drank, never smoked, never cussed, was never out of bed 90 minutes after sundown. And look how that boy turned out. You know, the problem in the black community, ain't no black man at home. Well, Jack the Ripper had a mother and father at home, and you can't get no more family values than the mafia, Mama Mia. What happened to them boys? Huh? And so all this game, look at the Queen. Queen Elizabeth make $360 million every 24 hours just interest on her money. Now, them be white folks. See, one of the problems we have, that white ain't a color, it's an attitude, and if you ain't got trillions of dollars in the bank, you can't have that attitude. So if I had my way, I'd make all black folks like me apologize to all white folks, because we mad at the wrong white folks. The white folks, they'll kill them on the way to get me. Did Hitler declare war on Africa? Did he declare on white folks? Did Hitler say the super race, I got to get rid of these misfit Germans? Okay? And so we sit, because the program machine, if I wanted youngsters to read the Christian Bible, I'd get me a group of rappers and let them rap the Bible. I mean, these young men, these young folks, they can hear a LP that runs for 45 minutes. The second time, they can sing it from word to word.
Right.
They can do it. See, Michael Jackson studied, what's his name, The Godfather.
James Brown.
James Brown, for 29 years, just the way, with no envy, no hatred, no jealousy, studied that, and then, boom, he went ahead of him. Went ahead of him in what? The moonwalk. I got grandchildren. They can't even talk. They can out-moonwalk Michael Jackson. Okay? You hear what I'm saying? I'm saying once you put it there and you break it, then anybody can do it. But you have to do it with no envy, no spite. Do you know how many times on this show y'all got, there'd be government agents calling in, faking like they just ordinary people? They ever call in and say, well, you know, because they know too much about the subject to be as dumb as they sound. Okay? And so, again, I'm saying that to the question is you got to get someone who people trust to undo this lie. Look, when I was eating and drinking, what did I get? I got it from the movies. From the movies.
Yeah, the conditioning, right.
Imagery.
The movies was cool. See, first, I'm 80. When I was a little boy, they didn't have no ugly men in leading roles. You didn't have no ugly. No. And if they had one for Frankenstein, they uglied him up. But I go to the movie to see Frankenstein. Did y'all see Frankenstein?
Absolutely, yes.
And let me tell you how dumb I was. First, we didn't have TV. We had radio. You know how stupid you got to be to listen to a tap dancer on the radio? I mean, can you believe we were that stupid? You know, my mother said, ooh, couldn't he dance? I'm looking at my brother. Ooh, Richard, you ever seen anything? Oh. Now I'll go see Frankenstein. And I'm a grown man before I realized how stupid I was. Y'all saw Frankenstein, right?
Yeah.
Were you scared of him?
Yes.
Well, who was Frankenstein scared of? He was scared of Bela Lugosi, the mad scientist. I didn't have enough sense to be scared of who the monster was scared of.
Right.
So if you go back and look at it, remember the little crazy dude, Igor?
Yes.
Then I found out that's a gay movie. Igor, the mad scientist, got a thing going. Frankenstein's all upset the way they messing with. Okay, it's a game. Did you ever see the Wizard of Oz? Did you know that's about the Kansas City Federal Reserve? It starts in Kansas. They talk about the gold and about the wheat farmers and the railroad.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
Wow.
and then you hear Herman Cain was chairman of the Kansas City Federal Reserve, One of the brilliant minds on the planet. So you know that script they gave him looking like buckwheat. That was the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Because see, the white folks I know, they got room for one Negro, a brilliant one. Okay, you already got Obama. Now where we gonna get another one to run and get him? Get buckwheat. Then we got two. We got black one Obama, a brilliant. We got buckwheat. We have to give them a choice. And so consequently, when you sit and you look at where this whole piece is with chemtrails, huh? They say, well, chemtrails, I look up in the sky and say, I'm on planes every day. Well, how come they just so? Oh, they must be burning cheap gas.
Right.
I've never seen that. Then I realized that all the poison and chemicals that they have, they put and spread it over certain areas. That's what that is. And chemtrails, certain areas. And they can aim it into certain areas. And then we come through and say, oh God, you know, you young folks are young, so I remember when I was growing up, it'd be a big murder, you know. And you hear black folks say, I hope it wasn't a Negro. Then who do you hope it was? Did you hope it was a Jew or an Italian or Irish? Who do you hope it was? You didn't say, I hope it didn't happen.
Right.
I hope it wasn't a... Now, here's what I mean by this. We pick up a paper tomorrow and see what some African-American, uneducated, dark-complected, went in and raised an old folks' home and got $3 and killed 12 people. What is wrong with you that you become embarrassed for the negativity of what somebody else do? Are you crazy? You embarrassed. Now, the next week we pick up a paper and say 12 well-groomed, well-dressed African Americans went into the Wells Fargo Bank and pulled off the biggest bank robbery, $5 billion in the history. Killed 42 people. You know how many black folks be high-fiving? Right. So when do it become a good crime and a bad crime? Until we undo all of this, for instance, in the black community, since when do I do all that crime? And then we say, black on black crime. What is black on black crime? I ask my white friends, what is black on black crime? Well, I tell you, they say, we tired of black folk killing black folks. Now, you listen to what black folks say. They didn't say we tired of black folk killing. They say we tired of black folk killing black folks.
Yeah.
Then who be left?
Right.
But the question is, if we go to China tonight, who you think killing Chinese in China tonight? We go to Italy, who you think killing Italians in Italy? And if 98% of all white folks was murdered last year by white folks, if they're not talking about white on white crime, why are you talking about black on black crime?
Right.
You kill where you live. So all at once now, we want to just undo it because of our compassion. Like I said to my son, hey, man, I can't help you. I can tell you about addiction. All addictions is about pleasure. Something happened to you way down in the pit of your soul where the real universal God hangs out, huh? And it's been violated, maybe by you, maybe by somebody who violated you, huh? And maybe one of my friends ripped you off when you was a little boy. Maybe you ripped off some little boy. Maybe you was driving drunk and killed somebody and didn't nobody know it. And say, but all addictions deal in pleasure. Now I say, son, let me tell you, the first addiction, number one addiction, is gambling, huh? Not crack. We ain't talking about your fears. We talking about scientific data. And those of you all listening, if you ever been addicted or know someone, you know what I'm talking about. I had a friend of mine told me 60 years ago, said a Catholic priest told him, said if somebody wiped out your whole family, don't go get a gun and go and wipe them out. Just pray to God that person become addicted to gambling. Number two addiction is sex, huh? Sex, huh? I mean, y'all ready to give it up, huh? Because it's addiction. It misused. Somebody in Canada called me. They don't even have fathers there. They were just looking for some good, nice Negroes to honor for Father's Day. I said, no, I don't qualify. Mr. Gray, you got 10 children. You never had no scam. I never got caught. People just leave me alone. Well, we're paying $40,000. Oh, no, I still can't come. Why? Here's why. When you create life, that's the universal God. I ain't talking about the church. Have y'all ever been in a great cathedral or saw the picture 16th Chapel? You You see the little goblin, the dude with the wings?
Yep.
Do you see them naked boys hanging down with no drawers on, no not girls, and y'all upset over pedophilia? They tell you this is what we're about. Are you crazy?
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
You made a point.
You ain't seen no little naked girl. Got them little boys with wings on. They ain't got no diapers on, no panties on. And they come on, y'all. And so when you stop and think about, anytime you produce life, you are producing another God. The universal God gave you that right. So the universal gave me that right to produce 11 gods. It didn't say what color are you, where'd you go to school, can you read or you write, where you working. It just gave me that right. And when I look at me in the mirror and realize I have produced 11 gods, and not once did I have an affair with my wife to produce a God. I was just getting me some get me, huh? But then when I got to stop and think, I never bought a car. I didn't know the year, the make, the model, the down payment, the insurance, the monthly notes, and the trade-in value. When I got to look me in the mirror and realize I put more planning into owning a jive car
Mr.
and
Gregory.
creating God's new life.
Mr. Gregory, so you're saying we got to undo the lie.
You can't undo the
No,
lie
right.
unless you call. Let me say this, and I'll get right back to you. I had a sister called me, been with SCLC for years. She has one leg missing. Ever since I've been knowing her, she's had a wooden leg, right?
Right.
So the other day I talked to her. How you doing? I said, I lost my house. I said, girl, you lost your leg. You were more upset on losing the house than losing your leg. That's God made. You worry about losing a job. She said, I never thought about that. Oh, my God, yes. Yeah, I did lose my leg. And then looking at that other leg, that old leg you lost was a pretty little old leg, too.
Right.
And so what I'm saying is there's a universal God that sees your faith, not your problems, not your conditions. And I try to explain to my grandchildren, are you all aware that new group of children hit this planet May the 5th, the year 2000, called the Indigo Children?
Yes, I know about the Indigo.
Now try to explain that to your grandma or your mama. They'll think you crazy.
What is, I don't know.
Wait,
what are the Indigo Children?
And then after that comes the crystal, and this year comes the 5th child. Okay? They born, and most of them died from drug, not illegal. Mothers and fathers look at them, especially black folks. What do you mean? You didn't say yes or no, sir. And I'm not going to say yes or no, sir. You're not going to talk to me like this in my house. And my mother used to tell me, no, son, where they had in my house, you ain't going to whistle in this house. And I get arrested for a demonstration. The FBI come out and told my mother I was a communist. And when I get out of jail, I come here to see these two white boys sitting there with their hat on. and my mother say, son, they say you're a communist. I said, Mother, I hate to embarrass you like that, but I have to tell you two white thugs. My mama don't even know how to spell communist. If you'd have walked in there and said, Lucille, because you said Miss Gregory, she'd been mad at y'all because no white man called her Miss. If you'd have called her, say, Lucille, your son's a communist. We so happy my mama would have baked me a cake. And I'll tell you something else. Y'all get out of this house with your hats on. She said, Richard, you don't have to, no, you ain't got nothing to do with it, mama. Y'all get out. White boy broke his coat open with his gun. I said, well, you better use it. I'm telling you again, you get out the house, and if you're not going to get out the house, then use your gun, okay? And so it's this whole kind of thing that all of that is down in us. You see, the problem with all of us, that we don't understand the slavery thing. We don't understand that my grandma in Africa was beautiful, but when you bring her over here and you rape her and rape her mother's mother, and then you tell me the new set of beauty is this, then a black woman can't look good to me no more.
Hey folks, this is Bill Anderson, and for quite some time I've been telling you about the Solia cleaning product line. They've been telling you how to clean your home and still protect the environment, and now they're bringing to us nature's miracle plant, the moringa plant. Moringa has 90 vitamins, 46 types of antioxidants, and all of the essential amino acids. It's the most nutrient-rich plant ever to grace our planet, and now it's available to you. Edible powder and capsules, antioxidant and moisturizing moringa oil for your skin and hair, and even antibacterial, antifungal moringa for cleaning every part of your home, including your laundry. So take care of your home with the Solia cleaning products and take care of your health with the Moringa Miracle Plant. To place your order, go to soliaclean.com or call 800-608-0810. And when you do, make sure you mention WURD to receive a special 20% discount off all products. The Moringa Miracle Plant and the Solia cleaning line, clean living from the inside out.
Are you over the age of 25 and need to lose more than 30 pounds? If so, the next 60 seconds are crucial to your well-being because Sensa is sending 30-day free trials to anyone looking to lose weight without calorie counting, meal plans, or traditional dieting. To experience effective weight loss results, you must be over the age of 25 and want to lose over 30 pounds. Call 1-800-951-4848 now and request your free 30-day trial of Sensa. In a 6-month study, one of the largest ever conducted of its kind, participants lost an average of 30 pounds using Sensa. And now you can too. This weight loss breakthrough does not require added exercise or a change in your lifestyle. But act now. Due to overwhelming demand, there is a strict limit of 1 per household. Again, if you are over 25 and need to lose more than 30 pounds, it is crucial that you write down this number for your free 30-day trial of Sensa. Call 1-800-951-4848. That's 1-800-951-4848.
That's a game.
Right.
All right. And so little by little. Now, the indigo children, they born with IQs of 200 and go up. I have 2 indigo. I have 1 crystal. Well, the one crystal, they was trying to put him in special schools because he heard things. And he wasn't, he just didn't look, And so I go home one day and they told me about it. I ain't paying no attention to it at all, shit. Everybody I know was crazy. So we driving, and he was when they put him in the car, they had to let the windows down just a little bit and take off real slow. Then they could go to their speed because it irritated him because car is a violation, airplane is a violation. Every hour you drive a car, your brain goes through 10,000 bits of information. That's why the super rich ain't never drove a car. So now he said to me, he said, "Granddad, you hear that train?" And they already told me. They already told me. And I said, I guess so. I don't know. 30 minutes later, whoom, that fast train passed by. I said, oh, you are indigo.
Okay.
Right.
We're going to take a quick break, Dick Gregory, and we'll be right back.
Thanks so much.
You know that the ice cream scoop has the power to make a child smile, and that by slowing us down, the traffic light can keep us going. You know that the golf tee brings friends together, that the mailbox keeps them connected. You know that the cataract laser helps you look to the future, while the pacemaker ensures that there's a future to be seen. You know that the lawnmower, the clothes dryer, and the elevator make life easier, that the blood bank makes life possible. You know that these things we count on every day started as ideas. But did you know all these ideas came from the minds of African Americans? Support minority education today so we don't miss out on the next big idea tomorrow. The United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. Please visit uncf.org or call 1-800-332-UNCF. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
I needed a bachelor's degree to get promoted. That's why I chose Pierce.
I needed a bachelor's degree to fit into my busy life. That's why I chose Pierce.
I needed a bachelor's degree to prove I could do it. That's why I chose Pierce.
Pierce College really works for working adults with affordable tuition, dedicated advisors, and degrees online or on campus. Work, life, a bachelor's degree? You can do this. Learn how at phillylearners.com. Created by Pierce to help you earn your degree.
Welcome back to the Green Hour on 900 AM WURD, Word on the Weekend, sponsored by Solia. And now your host, Laura Lomax.
Welcome back, everyone. I wanted to remind everybody, like us on Facebook at Solia Clean Solutions and follow us on Twitter at Solia Clean. Thank you. Mr. Gregory, we have
Mr.
another
Gregory?
question.
Yeah, let me say something to you. That's something that helped me. That one, when whoever got in touch with me about doing the show, who was it?
That was me, Dr. Paul.
And who did I tell you to call?
You called
Miss Lillian.
Miss Lillian,
That's
right?
who made it all happen.
Yeah.
I learned a long time ago that the two most powerful forces in the history of America is the black woman and the black church. Okay?
Hello.
You hear me? The black woman and the black church. I've made millions of dollars, and I've never wrote a check in my life. Go to her. A friend of mine said, man, supposed to run off with another man. Well, she can't run off with this brain. I made this money with this brain.
Right.
I remember that movie, that Japanese, The Blob. They threw that little thing down, and the next thing you know, they had people running across the river. It was bigger than the town. Okay. And another thing I understood by going to the movies and learning, that something was wrong with being black. I didn't look like him, so I'd walk home. Clark Gable, yo. Have you ever heard the word tall, dark, and handsome?
Sure.
Have you ever heard that pertaining to a black man? Have you ever called Harry Belafonte, Sidney Poitier? Those are white men who they know are Negroes that's passing. Okay? Tall, dark, and handsome. Please, give me a break, huh? And so one day I saw Clark Gable in that love scene. He had them curly locks.
Right.
And he said, frankly, my dear, and he moved his little head around and flipped that curl back. I don't give a damn. I damn near broke my neck trying to flip a nap back. I mean, and I say that to say this. So as I looked, then I realized that, you know how many people got off death row because of DNA? You think DNA was just discovered? DNA was here day one. We just grew to the point where we could understand it.
Right.
Okay, so when you stop and think about that, God, the universal God, the same God that built the oceans, the mountains, every grain of sand, gave me nappy hair.
Right.
But I ain't honest enough to get on the mountain and cuss God out till you made a mistake, boy. Now, I dare you, especially when you're talking about green, I dare you to tamper with something that the universal God made. I dare you to be ashamed of your lips. Then be ashamed of God. You didn't grow them lips. You got that. Your lips didn't get somebody hit you in the mouth. That nappy hair is because you're melanin. And when that electrical energy come down from the sun, if it go through straight hair, it messes your whole vibration up because of that melanin. So it makes it go through them curls to slow it down, that nappiness to slow it down.
Right.
Okay? And so all at once now, I said, well, wait a minute now. I've got to make my hair look like the slave master's wife. Anytime you take on the likes and dislikes of the oppressor, you become that. Anytime, like me and you accept injustice, you become unjust.
Right.
Anytime you live with filth, you become filthy, okay?
Yeah.
And so consequently, until all of that gets unwind, and the indigos. This one grandson to me told me, hey, Dad, Granddad, I need to talk to you. He's in New Mexico. God, I can't wait. I'm in trouble. Well, I need some help, Granddad. I said, well, you come in here, see your father next week, so he come by. And he said, let me tell you what happened, Granddad. He said, we had this school, and they was teaching us 2 weeks. 1 week talk about the bad things that either happened to you or things you heard happen. The good things. So they started off with the good things that have happened to you or you heard happen to somebody. And so then the next week, they did the bad things. So to get around to him, and he said, well, on the bad things that happened to me is slavery, the way Negroes get treated in America. And said, now let me tell you about lynching. And she said, oh, no. This is, y'all just 8 years old. We can't discuss that here. And he said, well, you better go get somebody who above your pay raise, 8 years old, that can discuss it or tell me why. I tried to call my mother, and she's in a meeting, so I'm going to walk out of here. and then y'all in trouble. So the assistant principal came in and he said to him, I bet if I was Jewish, not with bitterness, and wanted to talk about the Holocaust, I could do it. Mm-hmm. And he said, and you know why? Because y'all not responsible for the Holocaust. You don't feel guilty about what some Germans did. You don't want me to. It's an 8-year-old. Huh? And so this new group coming. Right. One of my granddaughters called me. Granddad, I need to talk to you about my mama, which is your daughter. That's how they talk. I said, what you want? How long she been crazy? I said, how old is she? I'm 6 years old. She was crazy before you was born. You can't blame that on you. But come on, what's wrong? I had to get a plane. But she want me and my brothers and sisters to say yes, sir, and no, sir, and thank you, and please. And I said, I'm going to call Granddad. And I said, tell her she ain't nothing but a fool. Don't nobody say please and thanks and yes and no, sir, but fools. And then ask her, has she ever heard Queen Elizabeth say thanks? Has she ever heard powerful people say thanks? And then ask her in her Christian Bible, did Jesus ever say thanks, or did God tell you to say thanks? God say, humble yourself. See, I can't trick you with humility. The mob will thank you, mother, thank you, and blow your car up 2 blocks away. This is a game. They seeing right through it. They're catching all kinds of hell. Well, those are the ones. And this real quick. The Chinese, this is y'all's homework. Look up and see why the Chinese hate the Japanese so bad. Right. It was the invasion of 1933. Them Japanese went into China. They had orders. Do not kill none of the old leaders. Every young boy you see with a tattoo on, blow their brains out. Of course, tattoo represents revolution. Huh? And we sitting here laughing at these folks. And, have you ever bit your tongue in the Do you know how bad that hurt? You know, these young white kids putting 20 screws through their tongue and they're not using painkiller, and don't nobody know where this thing is going.
Mr. Gregory, we're actually running out of time. I want to ask you one last question.
Yes.
Based on everything you're saying, things seem to be better over the last 100 or so years, I guess. I don't know now that we're talking, but are we on the trajectory to a better?
Not at all. First, for black folks and women, it was physical. Okay? It's mental now. You can't see it.
Right.
I'm going to give you 5 PhDs and put $1 billion in the bank, and you leaving that show, and you driving home, and there's a car, and you look to the rear and see a cop car. You don't even have you squeeze the steering wheel.
Right.
With all your PhDs and all your money, that thing is still in you. You can't buy it out. You can't educate it. Well, when we black folks learn how to talk, you had a white boy that's governor of California. He couldn't even pronounce the state.
Right.
Huh? But we keep looking for things to blame it on, and like the crime. Here, let me show you something. Y'all can do the research on it. This is a brilliant doctor. It never ran in an American paper. Crime linked to pollution. Polluted water causes brain damage that turns ordinary people into violent criminals. Now, this ain't no punk on the street or somebody talking trash. This is Roger Masters of Dartmouth College in Andover, New Hampshire, that configured. He compared the crime figures from the FBI with information on industrial discharge. Now, I didn't know the FBI kept files on homicides that's caused from industrial discharge. Lead and manganese. Once you get enough manganese, you'll kill your mama. What do? They spray it in the black community while we sleep at night. Okay? And then we wake up with our dumb ass and think this, what we going to do? How we going to do this here? And now you see the homicide has gone down all over America because there's enough of us talking about it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and listen what it ends up saying. Lead and manganese. He found a link between pollution levels and murder, assault and robbery. Counties with the highest pollution level has a crime rate triple the nation's average. Now, how you gonna help if you don't know what they're doing? If you don't know they dropping this in? Listen to this here. Punishment leads to shame. I mean, black folks. They'll say stuff to you. They'll knock you down. My daddy wasn't mad at me. He mad at them white folks. He wouldn't say nothing too. Then he's gonna come over and say, "This is my house. This is my house. You ain't gonna talk to me like that." I ain't even said nothing. You know? Now listen, shame leads to anger. Punishment leads to shame. Shame leads to anger. Then rage, then finally violence. I got this from a Chinese researcher, right? Shame is the assault of the soul. That's where your God force hangs out. When shame reaches the inner core of the soul, it leads to violence. Now watch this here. Leads to violence. When shame is so overwhelming, the mind numbs itself, and the individual cannot feel anything. Many times leading to a sociopath or a psychopath, a living machine that can kill or maim without any feelings or remorse. That's what your whippings do.
Yeah.
That's what happens. And go to jail. They're doing fantastic research, but they're not letting it out.
Right. So, brother,
somewhere.
So, Brother Gregory, when you're saying all this, we're here in the Green Island. We're wrapping up real quickly. We have to look at solutions, and we want to offer them your solutions for what we're hearing here. One of them, you were talking about sleep deprivation, dehydration, and lack of physical fitness. Those are some of the things that you pull out.
Yes.
That we have to, number one, get some sleep, because half of the people you saying that are losing their mind and going crazy.
But you must remember.
Yeah.
Once I go so long without sleep, then it becomes addictive. A chemical is reduced. The story of if you're not in bed by midnight, you turn to a pumpkin. Sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
You see, when you go to bed, let's say you go to bed at 9 o'clock tonight, and let's say I got a thing on the top of your head pressing it. You feel it, right? Press. That's recharging the brain. At midnight, that stops. All the sleep you get after midnight don't count. So it's more than just me telling you that. You got to go get the hardcore research. We always trying to fix problems, and we don't know how. I'll give you a $900,000 Rolls Royce, and all I got to do is take the spark plug out, and the damn car don't work.
Yeah, good point.
That whole bit.
Yeah.
It's nice to put it out there. Put it out there.
That's right.
That's
and
right.
Brother Gregory, we got to tie it up. Okay. But I want to thank you so much for everything that you're bringing forth to the family today. I mean, you're just bringing a wealth of knowledge and information, and we got to tie it up right now.
That's
we want
right.
to break to a commercial real quick.
This is the end of the
This
show.
is the end of the show. We got to really take.
We would definitely like to invite you to come back, though.
Whenever all you got to do is call Miss Lillian.
Call Miss Lillian.
Miss Lillian. We thank Miss Lillian. We want to thank Miss Lillian,
Yes, we do.
because Miss Lillian has been a gem.
And the last thing, let me say something real quick. I can go all over the world, and you can too, all of you, and recognize a prostitute by their demeanor, right? The way they walk, the way they talk, the way they switch, the way they just... If I can recognize a hoe without her telling me she's a hoe, how come if you don't tell me you're a Christian, I don't know you one?
Hello.
We're gonna have to end on that note there.
On that note, I want to thank the WRD owners, operators, managers.